And we're off. The second half of the baseball season gets started with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and Shohei Ohtani. JP France square off in the first game. We're going to talk about this Angels series and some other things going down in Sugarland on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Alvarez hits a high drive center field. Beer leans back. This game is turned upside down. There's the runner. Fly ball down the right field line. Tucker comes on. Kyle Tucker. This time they finish the job.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
Guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen. Whether it's on YouTube, go and keep on subscribing. Go and give us big fat thumbs up and go and make us your first listen and become an everydayer by listening to Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you check out your podcast. Go and listen to the Locked On Astros podcast. And I know it's been an off week. Everybody's been doing other things, maybe watching some of the new movies coming out, maybe actually talking to your family for once and spending time with your family, maybe mowing the yard, even though it's hot out there. But baseball is about to start again. And you know what else is about to start? Alvarez and Urquidy are about to start their rehab. So that's awesome. That's some great news. I think Jose Altuve is going to be a little bit behind them, but that's okay. The Astros went ahead and unveiled their 2024 schedule. So we'll go ahead and look ahead of that. And also we'll look ahead at the Angels series and more of what the Astros need as the second half approaches. So make sure you stay tuned in to the entire episode. And Brett, I'm excited. Shohei Ohtani on the mound tomorrow. It's going to be starting at 8:38, and you can go ahead and listen to it on SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and catch all the action. Just search Astros, and I can't wait for game time.
No, yeah, definitely. It's going to be exciting to get this season started off against Shohei Ohtani. You know, the Astros have actually fared pretty well against him. But you know what's even more exciting is when you're on the cusp of the series with the Angels in the second half, then they roll out the 2024 Houston Astros schedule. And you know, you always wonder, are we going to get an opening day game? Is it going to be a good opponent? You know, who's coming to town, who's going to be on the road, and people start planning road trips.
Right.
And so, Eric, we get a father-son matchup. The Astros, the Yankees' daddy, gets to host their son, the Yankees, at Minute Maid Park. So, good old father-son, early Father's Day present for the Astros, getting to have their sons come into Minute Maid. I love it. A 4-game set, Eric. This isn't like a 2-game opener. This is a 4-game set. And then right after that, coming hot out of the box, you got the Toronto Blue Jays. So, Eric, this is cool. But you know what? I'm thinking prices are going to be pretty elevated for this series.
Yeah, the Yankees coming town, that's always a big draw. And definitely for Yankees fans, they like to come to town and kind of boo the hometown team. I don't know why. I mean, we're so nice to them and we treat them so well. We're a very good host and everything. So I think this is the right one. Let me see. So I'm going to go and put the schedule. No, that's not it. I'm trying to find the schedule. But yeah, starting off with the Yankees means that you're going to start off with a whole bunch of good teams in the first month of the season. Not only the Yankees, but you're also going to have to face the Blue Jays and then also the Rangers, like you said. And so it's going to be it's not a very good schedule right there. So let me go and take that off.
So the Yankees, the Blue Jays, then you go on the road for 6 games with the Rangers and Royals. Then you come back home against the Rangers and Braves.
Right.
And then Washington, Chicago, Cubs, 2 with the Rockies, which is kind of weird. In April and March, that is going to be a cold weather game. I mean, we're going to Colorado in April. This is near spring break time. This is when it is still cold up there.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. Will they be snowed out in that game? Because we know they don't have a roof in Colorado.
Well, I think part of that too is you have the 2 games against Colorado later that are going to be played in Mexico City. So a lot of people were asking, well, is it going to be are we going to be a home team or road team? So we're playing the Rockies at home at Minute Park, those 2 games. So that means that
the first 2 games are not in Colorado. The first 2 games are in Mexico City.
Oh, they are?
Is that correct? Because it says Mexico City series on the Astros.
It's June. It was June, the 25th and 26th. And they have the travel day because they have the 24th and the 27th. Okay. So they wouldn't have that to travel there. So, no.
Okay, cool.
So the 27th and the 26th. Oh, that is a road game. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah,
so the Astros will be the home game for that series. I was looking at the wrong thing.
That's okay. So right. So when you look at March and April, it has the Colorado Rockies boxes. They are highlighted in orange, and on the bottom you have home, firework night, away, and then Mexico City series. So they will be going to Mexico City on the 27th and 28th in the first month of their. That's what it says. Okay, well, that's what it says, and then it shows them going to Colorado in June. Okay. Yeah, it shows them going to Colorado in June. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. So
I was sitting here looking at it, and
it doesn't matter. Sometime they'll play the Rockies in Mexico City, and they'll go ahead and be they'll be the road team in this case. So they'll go ahead and hit first. So. I don't know if that's an advantage for the Astros or not, but we'll see how that plays out. But definitely, I know you and I, before the show, we were mostly focused. That's why we didn't look too much at that on May, because May is going to be May through July 7th is going to be tough. Because if you look at May 7th through July 7th, there's going to be 30 straight games in 31 days. So there's only going to be one off day. So you're going to have 16 days, then 14 days or something like that. So it's going to be a lot of back-to-back baseball. So you'll see probably them go with the 6-man rotation during that time period. But that's something that you're going to see, especially with all the off days. If you look at June, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off days. If you look at March and April, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off days. And if you look at May, there's only 2 off days. So that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. You're going to play a lot of baseball back to back, and that's why it's beneficial to have a 6-man rotation so you can deal with these stretches. But I think the Astros are a team that could deal with that.
I tell you, when you look in the second half of the season, July is not really a month that concerns me too much, but August, you got the Rays, you got the Rangers, the Red Sox, the Orioles, and the Phillies all in that month. And if the Red Sox are improved next year, you got 2 series against them. And then going into September, Cincinnati, Arizona, Oakland, the Angels, of course, San Diego, Seattle, and Cleveland to round out the month of September. So,
and the Red Sox are not bad this year, Brett. They're actually just playing in a good division where everybody's over 500 and nobody wants to just run away with it except for the Rays.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. The AL East is a beast of a division, but what Adley Rutschman and what that group is doing in Baltimore, what Mike Elias has done with that ball club, they literally. I've heard someone say recently they remind them of the 2015 Houston Astros, but with a little bit more promise because they have a lot more pieces than the 2015 Astros.
All the right parts, right, Brett?
That's right. All the right parts. And so if you need to get involved with a championship business, just like a championship team needs their parts and everything to fit just right, look, with your vehicle, you need everything to fit just right. It can't just be mix or match. And so with eBay Motors, you have that assurability. So head to eBay Motors today. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, you can be sure every part that you need fits right the first time around. Just add your ride to My Garage and look for the green check to know your part will fit or your money back. Because just like in sports, confidence is the name of the game when you shop on eBay Motors. And with over 122 million parts to choose from, you'll be back in the game in no time. After all, it's easy to bring home a win when the right parts are guaranteed. Get the right parts, the right fit, and the right prices on ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items, exclusions apply. And this Friday, you can catch the Houston Astros versus the Angels in Anaheim, California on the SiriusXM app. On the SXM app, search Astros 8:38 Central Standard Time. Every pitch of the hometown broadcast is right there on SiriusXM.
All right, so I know there's no such thing as a must-win game, or probably is, but a must-watch game. But this is definitely as close as you can get to a must-watch game because the Astros are facing Shohei Ohtani, and you would love to have Yordan Alvarez back in playing, but unfortunately, that's not the situation. But I do. You didn't mention it earlier. What have the Astros done against Shohei Ohtani in the past? And as a pitcher, I have it right here. The Astros are, where is it? They are 3-5 against him with or he is 3-5 with the 3.75 ERA against him with, is this right? 81 strikeouts and 62 and 1/3 innings pitched with 12 starts. So yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't realize he appeared against them so much. So the Astros have had some success against him, but they've also been dominated in a few starts against him in the past. So it's either going to be really good or really bad.
No, yeah, and you have several Astros who have a lot of at bats against them. Someone who needs to take off in the second half, and Alex Bregman is hitting 370 and 20 at bats against Shohei Ohtani. And they're really, Abreu's faced him 10 times batting 400, McCormick 15 times batting 267. Everybody else, it's not really even worth mentioning because they haven't had a whole lot of success. But if they can basically catch him early, catch him on a few mistakes here and there, you can kind of get him off his game. I do think that this team is pretty much a one-trick pony. That's Shohei Ohtani. There's not much after him going for them right now. Mike Trout is out. Rondon is injured again. The other guys are going to do what they do, but none of them intimidate me. And I know they're only like one game under 500, but this team, Eric, is a shell of itself. I did a little thing on the AL West and talking about why I thought Ohtani was leaving the Angels. And if you look at the injuries on this team, Eric, from top to bottom, it's insane how many people are injured right now. So enjoy Ohtani while you have him, because if I were the Angels, I would be looking to deal this guy to rebuild my team because he's worth a king's ransom. But I love watching him play. Look, I don't mind if he gets a couple solo shots off of us. I just would love JP France to get the victory here.
Well, the Angels are actually 1-9 in their last 10 games. They lost their last 5 games. Their run differential is only +9. They are 45 and 46 on the season. They are only 5 games back in the wild card. They are now tied with the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota Twins are trying to decide what they're going to do at the trade deadline. Are they going to add? Are the Guardians for real? The Guardians are trying to decide, are we going to trade Shane Bieber? Are we going to go and try to hang on to him? And even the Tigers, there's a big gap between the Twins and the Tigers at 10 games. So there's a lot of teams that are kind of close and a lot of teams that are just not that many teams that are out of it. So that's why Dana Brown and a lot of GMs across baseball are having a hard time finding dance partners to go ahead and start the trading process. But before we move on away from the Friday game, I do want to say what Shohei Ohtani has done against the Astros as a hitter. In his career, he's batting .228 with a .737 OPS. but he does have 11 career home runs and 32 career RBIs. So he doesn't always get a hit against the Astros, but when he does, it's a home run. If you look at which teams he has the most home runs against, it's going to be the Chicago White Sox with 16, the Astros with 11, and some team named the A's, at least that's what they're named right now, with 18. So that's the team he's homered against the most. And I guess the Mariners with 16 and the Rangers with 18. So a lot of the AL West teams, of course, he plays a lot. So if you're looking at that, I guess that makes you feel a little bit better knowing that of all those AL West teams, you have held Shohei Ohtani down more than the other teams.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, this is a team that's basically Shohei Ohtani versus the Astros. No offense, Angels. I don't buy what you're selling there in Anaheim. It's an organization that at the very, looking at the cover of the book, you just know that this is a team that is not destined for success. I just hate to say that because they've got promising young players on that team. But when your leader, Mike Trout, is out with a broken hand, he's out until August. Rendon, who you signed him, and he's basically turned into Garrett Richards / Albert Pujols kind of signing where he's just injured all the time. I just think this is a series that the Astros should easily pick up pretty much every game in this series. And if they don't, it would be the Ohtani game because of what he can do. Detners can sneak up on you guys like that. But at the end of the day, this team has got to get hot. And I think it's key, Eric, that they start hot because Alvarez won't be in AAA long. Alvarez will be here sooner rather than later. And right. When he gets here, you would like your team to be taking off and hitting that basically mid-flight about 30,000 feet. So that way he doesn't have to help get them off the runway. You want them flying. You want them hitting in their stride. So that takes a lot of pressure off of Yordan when he returns.
Right. So looking at the ERA, the Astros are first in the American League with the 3.66 ERA. The Twins are right behind them with 3.68. If you scroll down a little bit to 11th place, you see the Angels at 4.42. The Angels are what they've always been, is a team that has the hitting, but they've just struggled to find the pitching. Yes, some of their pitching was doing good at the start of the season. Tyler Anderson is okay of a pitcher, but I don't think he's having the best season. But it's just having them stay healthy. That's the hardest thing. Even Shohei Ohtani was dealing with some blisters recently too. So the Astros just need to take care of business. They need to hit as much as possible before Alvarez gets back and just take care of business, because if you look at all the pitching matchups, the Astros should be favored in this series. But if you look at the OPS, the Angels are third in the American League with 772. And then if you go down, the Astros are seventh with a 723. So there's like a 30-point gap there. So that just shows why the Angels are still in the wild card race. It's not because they're pitching; it's because of their hitting, and that was with Trout there, but Trout's not there anymore. Oh, for the near future,
right? And that's why Dana said that if he could only focus on one area, that's why he didn't say he'd focus on a bat. That's why he said he'd focus on pitching, because you can have hitting, right? You can hit well, but really, the Astros, when they got swept by the White Sox, they had excellent pitching, but they had no offense, literally zero offense. Those games they lost. So you add a couple good bats, and you get good pitching. You can do a lot with a little bit when you have that on the offensive side. That's why I think this team, for the most part, needs to outperform what they've done in the first half. Your young guys have stepped up. Kyle Tucker needs to continue to trend up. Jose Abreu continue to trend up. And again, I think it's so important that Alex Bregman has a hot second half going into the postseason, because you need his bat. Clean up the glove a little bit. Jeremy Pena's got to get more consistent. He's got to quit going through these slumps. He needs to get on the ball. He needs to quit chasing stuff out of the zone and get more discipline at the plate. Because there's a couple dudes down there that are getting hot. Pedro Leon's getting hot. He may get a call up late. You got some people that are swinging hot bats. You might see a John Singleton at the end of the year. If there's an injury happens or something like that, someone can come up to maybe spark this team a little bit if needed. But you don't want to have to go that route if you don't have to.
Brett, it's getting hot out there. And you know what? A lot of these guys, maybe they need to start wearing some bird dogs. Maybe they'll be playing some better baseball or something. Maybe better at practice. Not during the game, of course, but that's not MLB authorized. But this episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs.
That's right. Bird dogs make you look good. Bird dogs stretch. Khaki shorts are designed not to stretch. These shorts fit you slimmer through the thigh, through the leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. Like I've said before, everybody's going to be asking you, you didn't skip leg day, did you? Oh, no, I did. It's just my bird dogs make me look that good. They do the exact same thing Lululemon shorts do, but they fit way better. I mean, the regular shorts you get, they're made of stiff, restricting cotton, not bird dogs. Bird dogs have fixed this issue by inventing cloud knit fabric that looks like the khaki shorts that you wear, but stretches so that you have a slimmer fit without sacrificing the movement. Bird dog uses an anti-stink, sweat-wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. And everybody knows in this Texas heat, you got to get some bird dogs. So if you don't have bird dogs, my question is, why not? And you will get a Yeti style mug when you order bird dogs. This is what you do. You go to birddogs.com/LockedOnMLB, enter the promo code LockedOnMLB for a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. Keep your cold drinks cold, your hot drinks hot, and you'll be looking good. Whether it's the business meeting, they say, let's go out on the golf course and get this deal done. Bird dogs will have you looking great and feeling great. Go get them today. And if you need a place to hang out with your buddies and go get some brew and go watch some baseball, there's no other place to go than Hooters. That's right. Hooters makes you happy. From Sugarland to Pearland, from Galveston up to Humble, I mean, all over Houston, Stafford, they have a Hooters location for you. Monday through Friday, they have specials. Kids eat free Saturday and Sundays. Let me tell you about some of those specials. Mondays, buy one, get one wings. Tuesdays, $9.99 burger and fries. Wednesday, buy one, get one boneless wings. Thursday, $19.99 wings and Big Daddy bundle. And Friday, if you like crab legs, $19.83 crab legs. $3 Blue Moon drafts all the time. Happy hour from 2 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 p.m. to close. And a couple special events to keep your eye out on. Pearland Hooters is having a fundraising from July 17th through the 31st, halfway to Christmas, for 2 weeks, collecting donations for Toys for Tots. Go check out that today. Sign up for their July 25th bus trip as well. They are a limited amount of tickets. Ask Megan for those tickets. And then you can go to the Pearland Hooters in NASA and ask Rosie about their trip. They're taking a bus trip on the 24th to the Red Sox game in August. So go check that out. Go talk to them. Go make sure that you make your place to hang out with beer, buds, and your favorite world-famous Hooters girls today. The Astros do play the Angels Friday, 8:38 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catch every pitch of the Astros hometown broadcast with SiriusXM on the SXM app. Search Astros.
Well, I think that's all we got for this show. There's no other important news to talk about, right? No minor league news, nobody coming back from injury, right? So we'll go and end the show, right?
No, you forgot Yordan Alvarez and Jose Urquidy. Are
Who's
you
that?
kidding? Yeah. Jose, are you kidding me? Is coming back. That's right. Jose Urquidy and Yordan Alvarez will be in Sugarland on the 14th. I mean, they have a picture of them standing back to back saying they're here. They're here. That's right. So starting July 14th, they've got an extended homestand. I believe after that homestand, you may see Yordan Alvarez join the team. There has been no timeline given, but it seems to me that if he feels good in the few games that he plays for them, there's no reason to keep him down there too long. So go to Constellation Field, and plus this next week they got some great giveaways. They're actually giving away that rainbow Yordan Alvarez jersey, I think on the 14th, his game Friday night, and then There are several other giveaways they're doing. They're doing some of the ring giveaways like they do at the Astros game. And it's a fun time. It's a great ballpark. The tickets are extremely affordable. So take your whole family out there. They got some really good food, really great seats. And look, take your kids out there. Right field, have your kids bring a baseball to get signed. The players will sign autographs, take pictures with your kids. It's a really good interactive environment for the whole family.
All right, so let's kind of curb our enthusiasm a little bit about Urquidy. He's not going to be back next week with the Astros. It's going to probably take him 3 to 4 starts to kind of get stretched out. He wasn't having a great season to begin with, the 5-something ERA. But what he does offer is somebody that you can throw in as a 6-man in rotation, somebody that has a proven track record. It doesn't matter what he did earlier this season. I think the Astros are hoping that they can just kind of plug him into the rotation and he just kind of do what he always does. And Dana Brown is probably not going to just cross his fingers and just say, oh, I'm going to put all my Yoshi eggs in the basket, the Jose Urquidy basket, and just hope that they all hatch. And there's a bunch of little Yoshis running.
Why Yoshi eggs? Why
Just
Yoshi?
From my childhood playing Yoshi. But anyway, so I just don't think that. I think that you are going to go get starter, and it's not necessarily just because. I know the Astros ERA is great and everything, and it's the second best in baseball behind the Braves. But what Dana Brown's point, and I totally agree with it, I've been saying it, is going into the playoffs. You don't want, especially with the way Hunter Brown's been pitching recently, you don't want to go into the playoffs with Framber Valdez, Christian Javier, especially as shaky as he's been recently. And they really believe that it was fatigue. That's really what they said it is. So we'll see when he makes his next start. And Hunter Brown as your third pitcher right now. I have all the confidence in the world in Hunter Brown, and I think he's going to turn it around. But you can't bank on that right now. And so we'll see. And that's what Dana Brown is thinking about. And I would love to see Marcus Stroman in the Astros rotation. There are several other guys that you would love for them to go out but the Cubs are not that far out of the race. So Marcus Stroman has the Cubs have not decided to extend his contract. So they could decide to keep him or decide to trade him, just like the Angels are trying to do with Shohei Ohtani. And apparently the Yankees are going to put all their eggs in the Shohei Ohtani basket, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's what Buster Olney's saying now. But look, and this is the problem I have with him saying that. Every time a big free agent comes up, he's going to the Yankees. And other than Garrett Cole and maybe Stanton, they rarely do lately. They don't. I'm sorry, media. Y'all are way too Northeast biased. It's really annoying. Like, what? Okay, tell me what assets the Yankees have to give up. They don't. They don't even have a farm system. What are they going to give up? Are they going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's New York, they're like, oh, y'all are the Yankees. Of course we're going to give Shohei Ohtani to you because you're the Yankees. No, you've got to have something. That's why I mean, I
meant as a free agent, but not necessarily
as a free agent. Yes. Okay. I thought you meant at the trade deadline. Okay. Because look at the trade deadline, but see, that's what Buster Olney was saying. Look for him to go to the Yankees, like to be traded to the Yankees, the Rays, or the Rangers. And I was like, interesting. Well, look, the Orioles also have a ton of assets. Why wouldn't you like talk to the Orioles? I mean, the Orioles have a ton of young talent. Yeah. At the end of the day, it is going to be interesting to see what happens. But I do think that Hunter Brown's going to turn it around. I do not think that Jose Urquidy is the answer to the starting pitching puzzle. But if you can get back a healthy, Jose Urquidy, I think that's going to help extend the life of your starting pitching, and that's going to help extend the life of your bullpen. If you can get solid outings out of him, 5 to 6 innings per start, that helps out huge. And yeah, earlier when I was talking about coming back after the first series, I was 100% only talking about Yordan Alvarez and not Jose Urquidy, because he has to be built up. But yeah, so I just didn't want people to think that I was misleading them. But I know you say the Cubs are. I mean, the Cubs are 7 games out. They're 42 and 47. I still
Rangers
think
were out in 25th. The Rangers were 7.5 games out at All-Star break, and they overpassed the Astros in 2015. And the Astros were the wild card team, so anything could happen.
No, I know, but they are literally in the wild card race. They are like 7th right now. I think if the Cubs get a good enough offer that they will take it, because they don't plan on keeping Stroman or extending him. And so I think a Stroman, a Bellinger are expendable pieces, but you have to get, you got to get the right pieces back.
Right.
I think Dana's going to do the right thing. I think for the most part, this offense is fine once Alvarez and once Altuve comes back. People keep talking about, they need a bat. They need a bat. They need a bat. Maybe they need another left-handed bat, but I don't know. I think once Yordan comes back, I think once Altuve comes back, I like this offense. I think it's great. So thank y'all for tuning in to this edition of Locked On Astros. We've got a whole second half of the season to cover, so stick with us, make us your first listen, and make sure that you catch every hometown pitch of the Houston Astros versus the Angels, 8:38 p.m. Friday from Anaheim with the SiriusXM app. Search Astros.
And go Stros, and I'm excited for the start of the second half of the season, even though it's not really the official start of the second half of the season. But go Stros, let's kick some butt, and let's get to the top of the AL West, because that's where they should be, baby. Nothing smart to say?
No.